Hi, welcome to Market Flow. I'm going to do a quick analysis of the market, major components of the Nasdaq and Dow. Stick around for that. Like the video, subscribe. Let's go ahead and start with ARK Innovations. Currently, ARK it's trading with this range of 130 and 108. It's been trading here for some time already, as you can see, and it's currently right at the middle of the trade of the range. It closed below the 20 moving average, so that doesn't look very bullish right now. Closing below the 50 moving average, so below 118. I have a target of 104 right there, so that would conclude sort of an ABC correction all the way over here. Other than that, I think this is an area where there has been quite a bit of buyers right here, all this on. So that could be it. Otherwise, if it starts making higher highs, it's very likely that it's going to come all the way to 131. That has been a strong resistance in the past. So Bitcoin right now, it is reversing, is looking very good, moving above all the moving averages. As you can see, there was an impulsive move here on the 26th, and then after that it came back tested the 50 moving average, and then after that it starts making higher highs. So right now the resistance is at 42 right here, so it is within this range of 42 and 29. It's very likely that it can probably come back lower and then start testing some of the support levels that used to be resistance, perhaps 36 or 34, and then eventually starts getting movement to the upside. But as you can see, the momentum is really good, really positive for the bulls to the upside. If I look at it in the 1 hour chart right here, you can see how strong it's been moving, making higher highs, higher lows. So that is still looking very good. And again, support levels will be 36 and 34, and I think this is where a lot of traders who haven't got in it and were waiting for a reversal will probably get in at those specific levels. If we look at coin has been trading very similar as well right here. So it had this range, it broke up once, it did a back test right here, and then now it's uptrending, making higher highs and higher lows, and it's waiting right now for earnings. I think, in my opinion, it's gonna start doing another leg higher, trying to do a run pre-earnings, and similar to RIOT as well. So if I look at a RIOT right here, you can see that as well. This was the downtrend, the last downtrend, and then it was about 23, 24 when it hit the bottom, and then it starts making really impulsive moves. Right now, this looks a little bit like a bull flag, moving around all the moving averages and then just getting ready for earnings. So in my opinion, it looks really bullish, perhaps getting ready to do another leg higher. So oil right here, it got a pretty good recovery. It came back tested the breakout level, and then it's currently trying to get to all-time highs again. It's hard to say if the uptrend is going to continue. So funny fact here, or fact right here, so June or July right here, this is the top right here, and then back on last year July, that was the time where it starts trading sideways, as you can see it right here. So it took a few months before it starts making higher highs again, or starts to uptrend. And if I look at it at the XLE, which is the energy sector for the S&P 500, you can see the same thing or very similar thing back in June. So this is actually a month before the peak of oil. Back in June, it starts downtrending and correcting, and then the same thing happened here last year. Back in June, it starts downtrending all the way to November. So based on that data, this is what the seasonality chart looked like a little bit, and it looks like it's all the way to November where the energy sector starts uptrending again. So that is just something to keep in consideration. The uptrend was lost on the energy sector. Right now it's doing an oversold bounce You can see this is right here is a strong support level, and it can continue to uptrend, maybe generate new highs, but to me it looks like it's probably gonna trade sideways for some time based on previous behaviors. Next one, the DAX. So the one thing I wanted to point here about the DAX is so right now it has negative divergence right here. You can see that in the RSI. So it created an oversold or overbought bounce right here, and then ever since it's been generating negative divergence. This is not a really good sign for the bulls. Last time this happened was here back in June. So you can see that June 8 was the peak of this right here, which is very similar to this. Well, this was in April, but this is June right here. So you can see that, and then ever since then it created negative divergence. It didn't move very much highway, just sideways for some time, and then eventually it corrected, and then the correction happened in October, and right now we're in July. So there is right now a lot of speculation that there's going to be a correction sometime soon, maybe August, July, September, October, but then after those months there is a winter rally normally. And then right here with the dollar index, it's taking a break. It went all the way to support. It's probably gonna come back all the way to the 50-moving average and then try to resume from there. So with the Nasdaq right here, this is the chart, this is the uptrend right here. So it got to the high part of the trend right here, and as you can see, every time it gets here to this high part of the trend, it has a little bit of a pullback, gets back, makes high highs, and then eventually corrects. So that is one expectation right here. You can see that RSI starts making negative divergence, but in the past it has made negative divergence like that, and it continued making higher highs. In matter of fact, this is last year, this is August right here last year, and you can see how last year August was a very strong month for the Nasdaq, and it went parabolic almost right here, and then eventually all those gains were give up, and that was a large correction that happened right at the beginning of September. So there is quite a bit of speculation that there is going to be a correction anytime soon, perhaps September, October, maybe even in August. And the reason why it looks like it is because a lot of the catalysts to make higher highs right now with earnings, they're already gone, and the stocks didn't really move very much higher after earnings. And matter of fact, they sold off quite a bit in the tech sector, so we have to see how they respond coming up next month. Breaking below the 20 moving average, that is probably going to cause the Nasdaq to come all the way to the 50 moving average, which is about 14 and 3 and 50. So this level right here, maybe a little bit below to the 1400. And if I look at it here in the 1 hour chart, you can see this uptrend. It got back out of it, created higher high, and then now it's just trading here sideways. But again, if it breaks this level of the 20 moving average, it's likely that it can have a little bit of a correction. That is my thought. I think that the catalyst for the Nasdaq to move higher was based on earnings, and that didn't work out very well. So maybe I'm expecting a little bit of a correction there. Contrary to the Nasdaq, the small cap index, the Russell 200, looks like it starts making higher highs and higher lows again. It closed above the 20 moving average, so that's a good sign. Now, I mean, if it starts uptrending from here, it's very likely that it's going to go to the top part of this range right here. So it's been trading on this range right here between the 21 and the 23 right here. It's very likely it's probably getting ready to get all the way to the top of the range, and even though it still has negative divergence right here, yeah, that is just like one downside here. It has negative divergence. It can probably come down again if it gets rejected from the 50 moving average. So this is the SPY 500 right here, and as you can see, we've been following this trend for quite some time already after that recovery, and every time it hits the 50 moving average, there is a rebound on the market. It's currently sitting around 434, closing above all moving averages and holding this level above previous high, which is bullish still. So that was pretty good for this week. The target that I have for the SPY 500 is 445 and then 451 if that goes above it. And my only concern here is that some of the earnings from large caps already happened and it didn't move the market higher. I was expecting it to start moving higher and have sort of a blow off top with that. Other than that, still looking bullish, but I am expecting a correction sometime soon. However, I think the market still has a little bit higher to go. This is the 1 hour chart right here. So you can see this is the trend right here. Every time it falls back to the 50 moving average, is quickly bad. And right now it's at the height or on the top of the trend. That's why I'm thinking probably there is going to be a correction sometime soon. Probably not as soon as next week, but yeah, so that is what I think about the Nasdaq right now. So Apple right now, it got out of the downtrend, the uptrend I mean, and then after that it did a dead cat bounce. Right now it's consolidating in this level. It closed above the 20 moving average, which is still good, holding that level, correcting a little bit. So there's a few scenarios here. If the 20 moving average is lost, then it's very likely that it's going to come all the way to 236. This is a level of support and it's going to match the 50 moving average and maybe even a little bit lower than that. So we still have to see that. Otherwise it can probably resume higher from here depending how the market looks like. And here Adobe, I think Adobe is going to hold this level all the way to earnings. So it has got this pre-earnings run. It's a pretty strong run right here. So we'll see how that goes. Same thing happened with other stocks like Amazon, and then once earnings came down, they sold out pretty quick. So right now with Amazon, is this a good time to buy? It's hard to tell, especially because the sentiment on the stock right now is probably not very bullish after earnings. But they could be some oversold bounce, perhaps all the way to the 50 moving average, and then from there sell off a little bit farther back. So this is the range where it's been trading, and this was the trend, the upper trend that it was following. So you can see that it broke that. So again, I guess you can do like a back test of this support, resistance, 50 moving average, and then come down a little bit farther down, just because it's quite a bit oversold. And then Facebook, different from Amazon, it still holds this uptrend channel right here. And if I look at it this way, you can see that it is just right above support. So things still look bullish. Losing the 20 moving average, getting out of this trend, I think that's where it can probably start moving sideways or starts going down. And then Google, right now Google is at the top of the trend. So we had a target of 27 and 90, got pretty close to there, and then they have found some sellers right here. You can probably still go there in the next week. So still uptrending, but however the risk to reward moving higher from here, it's not as good, just because it's at the top of the trend. As you can see, it can still grind higher like it has done in the past, but there is really not much upside from here. Same thing with Microsoft right here is at the top of the trend channel right here, so I don't see very much upside. So looking at Apple, looking at Adobe, like a lot of them seems like they have topped a little bit, and some of them already start selling up. So that's why I've been speculating that there could be a correction sometime soon. We'll see how that goes. It can probably take a month too, but the upside is probably getting minimum from here. Netflix is sold off quite a bit as well, and it's trying to rebound, still above the 20 moving average, the 50 moving average, but as you can see, it's in the middle of the range. So going above the moving average is very likely that it gets above the uptrend, or above, or it can go to the low of the range. And then NVDA, it got out of the range right here. It sold off quite a bit. This is probably just like a dead cat bounce. You can see there's not much strength. It couldn't get above this level. It's very likely it's going to come down to the 50 moving average, and then if that doesn't hold, it starts retracing. I have a target of 170 right now. PayPal, same thing. It's already correcting. And then Tesla on the other side is looking a little bit more bullish. You can see this range right here, and it's very likely that if it breaks above 687, the next level that I have is 720. We get to see how that goes, but you can see that range right here. It's uptrending and it's getting above the downtrend right now. So with the Dow components, it's a little bit of a mix. Boeing got rejected from the 50 moving average, and it does look a bit weak, especially since this is the uptrend right here. It broke that one, it got rejected, so it looks like it may continue to sell or consolidate. And then Salesforce here, it's been trading sideways for some time already, and it doesn't have much of a direction. Hopefully it breaks above these levels right here, these heights, and then start making another leg higher. But the other side looks like it's downtrending, so there's negative divergence there. And then with Goldman, I mean, this is Disney, so with Disney, same thing as well, just moving sideways for some time. We'll see if maybe it starts uptrending from here. It has to break above 180. Same thing with Goldman Sachs. Ever since he got here to this top, it's just been trading sideways for some time. And Home Depot uptrending a little bit more. I think it has to do with the whole infrastructure bill, so perhaps that's probably why it has a little bit more strength, but not really impulsively. Same thing with United Healthcare. So they look a little bit toppy here, trading sideways, taking a little bit of break. And Visa has been uptrending quite a bit, and then right now it's trending on this trending channel, and it's just doing a pullback. And then of course, if it starts making high highs from here, it probably continue on this uptrend. And Walmart, this is the one I've been watching closely. Definitely one thing is because Amazon missed on earnings, perhaps that probably put a little bit of momentum on Walmart. So Amazon sell off, but Walmart got a little bit of momentum right here, meaning probably some of the sales are shifting to physical stores. So probably that's where Walmart can probably get a little bit of momentum. But at this point, this is all I wanted to share. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Have a good day.